Okay, says we are now live streaming.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another book launch with Carnelian Moon Publishing. It is our incredible honor to introduce you to our latest and newest author. And we know that you're going to love this woman because the book that she has just had published is incredible. I've had the opportunity to read it, and the insight and the wisdom and the brilliance that she shares is going to really make a difference in your life. So we encourage you to purchase her book, and we'll be sharing a link where you'll be able to do that this evening. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go directly to introduce you to Bridget. So let me just get my notes. And so what I want to first of all do is give you an outline what Bridget's book is about. So it's about spirituality isn't about truth. It's not even about belief. The fulfilling spiritual path you've been searching for isn't something you can find. It's something you must custom build to fit your authentic, deep self. Deep self magic teaches you how to connect with and embrace your authentic, deep self, surfacing the aspects of your soul which you felt pressured to reject and hide away. It guides you through the process of emergence, where you can release the burden of inauthenticity you've been buried beneath for too long. And you'll tap into your innate magic to transform and evolve those aspects of your authentic self which no longer serve you, so you can truly thrive. Using oh my goodness, I'm just loving this for sure. Using alchemical principles and examples from her widely varied spiritual history, Bridget Owens guides you through the practical realities of shadow work, releasing your spiritual baggage and inauthenticities, and mastering the magical skills necessary to facilitate spiritual evolution. And so it is my great honor to introduce to you our guest of the evening and our beautiful author, Bridget Owens. Hi, Bridget. How are you?
I'm great, Judith. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody who's here in the Zoom room and everybody who is watching. This is the culmination of a very long project. So I'm super excited. And I just want to start out by saying thanks, like above all, to Carnelian Moon, because they've been a huge force in getting this done.
Well, thank you so much. This was really sort of a universal journey, having us come together actually. And we actually met for the first time when I signed up to do a program with Eva. And you were there to guide all of us individuals. And I got the opportunity to speak with you. And you were telling me about your book and the idea that you had about it. And it just enthralled me. And I thought, oh, I just love the idea that you have going on here. And everything that I've heard so far about you, Bridget, is that you are brilliant. You have an incredible mind. And it is absolutely no surprise to anyone that you've created this incredible work that you've sent out to the world, and that there's more to come. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you the floor, and I'd like you to share with us about your authoring journey. How did you come about to even think about doing a topic like this? And why did you choose to move forward now?
So interestingly enough, and I'm glad that you brought up sort of how we met, because this book has been in the works for quite a lot of years, really, as an idea for a book. And I'm one of those independent people who doesn't like to ask for, to help with things, and I can figure stuff out for myself. And I've kind of done the self-publishing journey before. And when we talked and you were describing your journey to starting, Carnelian Moon and your journey as an author. And I was like, this is what I've been waiting for, because part of this journey is that like, I always wanted somebody, I was always afraid that people wouldn't understand where I was coming from, that I was sort of the only one that would travel this, that I was kind of going it alone. And I didn't want to deal with, a publisher that didn't get my vision. So I knew that you would get my visions. And so where this comes from, and I'm going to try to do this very succinctly, which several people in this room are going to laugh at, because this is difficult for me, because this is the end, not even the end. This is the stopping point on a very, very long chain of events. As it will probably, become clear in the clips from the book and things that I've done if you've been following my live streams that I've been doing leading up to the launch. I grew up as the kid of an evangelical preacher. And so my spiritual journey has taken a lot of different twists and turns. And I'm going to fast forward through most of that. And I ended up not too many years ago, kind of in a spot where I had found a lot of things that I was fascinated by spiritually. I had found this local pagan meetup group, and I was exploring different topics, and I had explored different paths, and none of them quite felt right. And I couldn't really settle into, I was like, what label can I put on myself? What is it that I believe? Why am I doing this? And I ended up in a place where I realized that, by technicalities, I'm an atheist. I don't believe that there's some sort of God lurking over my head, kind of poking around at my life. And without that, I was like, if I'm not believing in all of, deities and all of these things, why am I still chasing spirituality? Why is this still attractive to me? Why do I want it? And I kind of started doing research. I started just kind of poking around at that idea. And I came across an image on the internet that was the sort of family tree of world religions that traced everything back to prehistoric animistic beliefs. And I thought, man, if I started researching, if you went back to the beginning and you just stripped away all of the stuff that we think we believe about all these things, about all of our spiritual history, what would you find? If I just looked at the archaeological evidence, would I come to a different conclusion than the one I've been taught? So that's not what this book is about specifically, but that's a project that's in the works. And that's what led to this one, because as I started doing that research and realized that when you strip away the preconceived ideas that you have about a topic like why are humans spiritual, you kind of find evidence for humans being way more powerful and than we have ever kind of given ourselves credit for. And wouldn't the same thing be true for each of us as individuals? And if you if I kind of went, I'm going to throw out everything I've ever been taught about my need for spirituality and start from scratch, where would I come up with? Where would I end? And I always kind of thought I would come to a conclusion, and I haven't, but I came to some concepts and some processes, and ultimately this idea that each of us needs something different from spirituality, that the answer isn't the same for all of us, that the path can't be the same, and that's sort of the answer, that there are some sort of universal things that we all need as humans, but how we get there is different for each of us. So that's where this book came from.
I love listening to what you present, because you do it in such a way that everyone wants to lean in and listen to you. And so thank you so much for that, Bridget. And then that's why I wanted to lead off with you sharing a little bit about your journey and why you chose to move forward with this. So we're going to go into that a little bit more in just a few moments. But first of all, what I'd like to do is I would like to introduce my co-founding partner, Debbie Bell Navis-Brimble. She is going to be co-authoring or co-hosting with me this evening, and she is the brilliance behind how fluently this project is going to go. So I would like to hand this over to Debbie now, and she is going to go ahead and introduce one of our first guest speakers. Go ahead, Debbie.
Hi, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Judith. Congratulations again, Bridget. We are so excited to be here. We're so excited to be celebrating you and honoring you. We are here for you. And I just want to share, before I go ahead and introduce, I just want to give a shout out to all of your amazing guests who are watching live on Facebook. So we've got Selena, we've got Sam, we've got Marsha, Ava, who is here, we've got Sam, we've got Angela, Sam again, and Marsha. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for celebrating this amazing soul with us and all the magic that she's sharing with the world right now, all of her brilliance that she's sharing with us all. So thank you so much for being here. Please stay tuned and continue celebrating with Bridget. We'll share more about the book in a moment. So, of course, I now have the honor of introducing Bridget's sister. So Bryn Maycott is Bridget's sister, who is also an astrologer and numerologist, which is so exciting, and collaborated with Bridget on a number of her mantras for the Zodiac coloring books. So I'd like to hand over to Bryn right now to say welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. And I'm so super excited for Bridget. So I've known Bridget since she was 0 years old, when the family was discussing what name we should name her. And from the moment she was born, I would say that we kind of had a special bond. So one of my earliest memories, so I will just say, I was 16 when she was born. And I remember putting her on my shoulders when she was little bitty and dancing around to records with her on my shoulders. And just from the moment she was born, it seemed like we had just a connection that was sort of really special. And as she has grown and grown up, and now I live across the street from her, we have the opportunity to do a lot of discussions and talking. And there is nothing more that I enjoy than having really deep conversations about knowledge, things that we have learned, things that we have discovered, dissecting ideas, dissecting concepts, and I just love doing that with her. So I've heard a little bit about this journey, not enough. I mean, I am definitely going to buy the book, and I can't wait to buy the book, but I just can't wait to see what her research and discoveries and spiritual truths have told her that she can share with the world. So I couldn't be more proud than I am. So.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Bryn. And I just want to say that Bridget actually designed the cover of her book. Not many of our authors take that step. And I just wanted to take a moment to share that with you all. And the design is absolutely beautiful. The colors are stunning. And you all have the opportunity to go over and purchase that on Amazon. And Judith will share a little bit more about how you can find out more about the book. And the name of the book is Deep Self Magic. I just love that. A step-by-step roadmap to spiritual authenticity. And gosh, it is just so inviting. Just hearing the title and subtitle just pulls me in. So I hope that everyone out there is also really intrigued by what Bridget shares in her book. So Judith?
Thank you so much, Debbie. So this is one of the reasons why I loved having Debbie on these book launches with us, because she brings such a beautiful amount of energy here, and she always remembers those extra little nuances. And so what I would like to do now is just share with everyone also another little tidbit of a fact. Bridget illustrated all of the images in her book, and watching this book come together as far as the layout goes, it was so much fun to watch, because Bridget had an exact idea in mind. And the book is something that really draws you in. It doesn't just tell you something, it leads you on a beautiful journey, a beautiful path. And each of those images that Bridget carefully developed and had the beautiful vision for, it is done with a purpose, and you get to really feel that purpose when you are going through the book. So the book is something that you definitely want to purchase, because this is not just something about spirituality. This is more than that. This is helping you to move forward in your life, however that looks for you. And I think that you will, once you purchase the book, really enjoy reading Bridget's work, because she creates a vision for you that you get to understand. You get to know where Bridget came from, what Bridget's background is about, and it really helps you to resonate with Bridget. So I would love for you to take some time after our book launch and visit Amazon. You can visit Amazon in the USA at amazon.com, and the link for that, we will share all of those links actually in our group as well, but I'll give those to you now also. And the one in the USA is bit.ly, so L-Y, bit.ly/deep self magic USA. And I notice I've got an extra USA in there, so I'll change that, but it should only be one USA. And then for Australia, it is also bit.ly/deep self magic Australia. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I wonder what's doing that. Anyway, and then Canada is bit.ly/deep self magic Canada. And then, of course, the UK is bit.ly/deep self magic UK. And you can go there and purchase Bridget's book. It is in ebook currently. It is coming out very shortly in paperback. You're going to want to have a copy of that as well. So now, let me see, because I have the distinct pleasure to share with you a video that I had an opportunity to view, and I just love the message that came through on this. So Bridget, this is from a very dear friend of yours, and it is Jenny Bedell. So I'm going to share screen. Hopefully I will get that there without any issue. And that didn't go the way I expected it to.
It's
Oh,
displayed.
wrong one. It's the wrong one. I just had my screens wrong. Okay. All right. And this is from Jenny. So hopefully I can get this going.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Jenny Bedell, and I'm director of Narrow Path Creative LLC here in Springfield, Missouri. I'm doing a little traveling during tonight's event, so I couldn't be there to support Bridget live and in person. So I hope this video conveys just how excited I am about her new book, Deep Self-Love. I guess a little backstory is in order, and I'm not exactly sure where to start, but I think that our relationship probably began in Mrs. Jersak's biology class in 7th grade. We ended up being lab partners that year, and we very quickly eased into a friendship and creative partnership that's lasted 33 years now, if my math is correct. We had nearly all of our classes together in school, so we partnered up together over the years for all sorts of different kinds of projects. Bridget and I have dissected frogs together. We learned how to construct Native American style beadwork. We won a photojournalism contest with our essay on ghosts and tunnels. We painted murals and probably a million other things that I'm forgetting about. But here's one thing that I know you won't hear Bridget talk about tonight, and it's something that I feel is very necessary to point out, and that is the fact that Bridget is unbelievably smart. She was always at the top of our class. Valedictorian, honors, 5 million on the ACT, whatever. So even when we were kids, I knew that her brain didn't work like everyone else's. It was faster, deeper, and more complex. Most kids our age were busy trying to avoid responsibility, but Bridget and I were creative and busy-minded and extremely focused on making. We were and still are makers, but Bridget and I are also very different. I get bored with all the details, and Bridget never gets bored with details. Her brain is intricate in the way that she breaks down and analyzes things, leaves no room for stray thoughts to hide. I've always been fascinated by unique thinkers, so I've always kind of just been naturally fascinated by Bridget and her capabilities. If there were ever expectations, she always just crushed them by like 100 or so, and that has certainly spilled over into her adult life. I mean, why create one amazing hand-drawn coloring book when you could create one for every single zodiac sign in the calendar, right? I'm lucky to call her my friend, and I'm forever grateful that all these years later, we still enjoy making things together. So when Bridget decides to make something new, I get excited because it's going to be good. This book will be no exception. When someone with a brain like Bridget's takes on a subject like spirituality, well, all I know is that the reader is going to learn a lot. So I highly encourage you to order a copy of this book for yourself, and maybe order another one for anyone who might benefit from a fresh, deep look at how to build authentic personal spirituality. So yeah, go out, get your copy, order it online, get it on Kindle. Is that what we're doing today? I'm dropping the ebook. Yeah, I really recommend it. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care. And I'm so proud of you, Bridget. Like, so proud. Love you. Bye.
That was beautiful. I love that message. It truly personifies everything about you, Bridget, and everything that you have brought to the table for your book. So congratulations. Oh my goodness. We're so happy to be here and celebrating you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to throw in a tiny little aside, because Jenny, I have always, I put it in, I think somewhere in the book, I don't know, I think it was the acknowledgements in the back. I have looked up to Jenny since the day we met. And we are planning to write a book together. So at some point down the line, we don't have a date for that, but she has a background in geology, and we're going to write a crystal book. So
awesome. And I want a copy. Oh, that's fabulous. Thanks so much for sharing that, Bridget. Okay, Debbie.
Hello again, everyone. I'm busy getting the links for you all and sharing them in the post on Facebook. So anyone who's interested in getting a copy of Bridget's amazing book, please have a look on Facebook in a couple of minutes when I get to press that send button. So I have the amazing honor now of asking Bridget to read an excerpt of her book for us and allowing us to experience what all the readers will experience from the author herself. So Bridget, over to you.
Thank you very much. And I was like, I don't know where to pull from the book. I didn't want to go too deep because this is sort of a step-by-step. It's not an instruction manual. And despite what I was like, everybody's talking about like, oh, she's so smart. It doesn't read like a textbook either. I didn't want that. So I thought I should jump into something that kind of, I feel like this is it's from chapter 3. So it's not too far in for step 3. So, and it's hard to pick a piece that really gets the breadth of what's in the book, but hopefully this is a indicative and opens up some curiosity. So I've never been a tidy person. During my teenage years, my mother and I were constantly in conflict over the state of my bedroom and why I couldn't do simple things like put my shoes in the closet when I took them off, or why I always had half-finished projects strewn about. I couldn't understand the point of putting away shoes that I would just be putting back on the next day, or making a bed that no one would even see before I would be sleeping in it again. She was concerned about appearances and felt that if it looked like she couldn't keep house, it would reflect badly on her skills as a wife and mother. I, on the other hand, developed a significant amount of resentment over having my interests and projects considered less important than where my shoes were or if my bed was made. Sometimes it's the little things in our manifested physical environment that reveal big things about our authentic selves. The thing is, I've never gotten any less messy. It's not because I don't know how to clean or because I don't like being in a clean house. It's just that it's never going to be a high enough priority for me to spend time and effort on. Every moment I spend cleaning house feels like a sacrifice because that time is so valuable. I'd rather devote myself to creative and spiritual pursuits, to the search for amazing and enlightening experiences, and die with a messy house than spend all my time picking up after myself to satisfy other people. And yes, there's judgment because of it. But because I'm not a consistently neat person, though, I am very familiar with the phenomenon of hiding away the messes we don't want others to see so that we put our best foot forward. It's a good analogy for shadow work, but it's time to talk about how it's not even just a metaphor. Our environment literally reflects who we are, and it's the first place our inauthenticities turn up. My untidy house is where my authentic self feels most at ease. I don't worry about someone making me put away a project before it's done. I can collect all the weird books I want and use the fireplace for alchemical operations and not have to explain myself to anyone. I can and do fill the front yard with festive lawn flamingos during the holiday season, simply because it amuses me. I can control who comes into my home and how much of it they get to see. And I think most of us want to live and spend time in places where we feel completely at home, completely free to be ourselves without worrying about what everyone thinks about us. We want to dress the way we want, eat what we want, surround ourselves with the belongings that we enjoy the most, collect stuff we like, entertain ourselves with the stuff we enjoy most, and not have to make ourselves uncomfortable for the benefit of anyone else. We want to be in control of who comes into our spaces and how much time they get to spend there. Our physical material reality is what we're most often referring to when we talk about things like lifestyle. When we talk about the life we want to build for ourselves, we talk in terms of our material existence. Even if we're talking about what we do with our time and how we make a living, we're nearly always thinking about the experiential reality of it, not the philosophical. So the key question here is this: is the life we have the one we thought we wanted? And are either of those the life our authentic self truly needs? Are we pursuing a life we think will please or impress others, or are we building one that truly supports who we are? This process is still about becoming self-aware, including becoming aware of how we feel moment to moment and situation to situation. We've all been places, done things, and been versions of ourselves that felt supremely right, situations where we felt fully in control, fully realized, comfortable in our skin, comfortable in the space we were in. They may have been somewhat fleeting experiences depending on the path our life has taken, but we've all experienced a range of such situations. And that means we also know what it feels like to feel unwelcome in our own life, restricted, othered, excluded, pushed into a mold we don't naturally fit into. It's pretty common when we're younger to be told how we should be, to have our choices and self-expression questioned at every turn. Unfortunately, we tend to keep doing that to ourselves as we get older. We assess what the world seems to expect and want from us. And instead of letting that pressure just come from outside, we put that pressure on ourselves. So in doing this shadow work, we're looking for the places in our environment that exert the most pressure on us and make us feel most uncomfortable. Does the portrait of our uber religious great aunt look down on us from the wall as we go about our daily life, making us feel silently judged about our spiritual choices? Does the space that we set aside for meditation but never use make us feel guilty for not upholding some kind of daily spiritual practice that never really felt authentic? How much of the way we fill our environment and present ourselves to the world is left over from past versions of ourselves? And I'm not going to answer that question. That's you have to read the rest.
Absolutely. So everyone has to get the book. Okay, so we have had link issues, and that is down to me. So what I would like to do is, first of all, thank you so much, Bridget, for sharing that. Definitely a read that everyone would like to get their hands on, because this is something that it speaks to everybody. It may be about spirituality, but there is so much more to Bridget's book. So thanks so much for that, Bridget, for sharing. So I want to share with everyone the correct link, and I'm going to give you the US link for now, and all of the other links will be available on our page as well as below this replay, so that you can just click on it and go and get your own copy of Bridget's book, Deep Self Magic, a step-by-step roadmap to spiritual authenticity. So you can go to USA, https www.amazon.com/DP/B09KGPF292. And that's not nearly the prettiest URL in the world, but we will have all of the other URLs under the video and the replay as well for you to check out. Or you can just go to Amazon and search Deep Self Magic, Bridget Owens, and you'll find her book. Okay. So now I have the distinct pleasure to introduce Eva. I hope I say your name properly, Eva, so please forgive me. Palakova.
Yes,
Close.
that's right.
Okay, so Eva is someone that Bridget works with her in her business, which is a coaching practice. And she's one of Bridget's biggest inspirations when it comes to shadow work and spiritual development. So Eva, I'd love to hand this over to you now.
Well, that's really sweet, because Bridget is one of my inspirations. So first of all, I'm not here just for myself. I'm here on behalf of our team. They're all in the chat. Masha, Sam, and Selena. We're all just so excited, as well as many of our clients. We have Marisa and Angela and Kay and others. We're so excited for this. So a little bit of a background, Bridget and I have been working together for, I think, the past 4 years. And I got to tell you, she's an incredible coach, incredible spiritual mindset coach for these entrepreneurs. In fact, she is in charge of close to 50 clients, and she's responsible for getting them to launch their businesses. So she's one of the most influential people I know. So a little bit about, I've been so excited about this because for the time that I've known her, I think our team will agree with this. I have never come across somebody who is just so level and so grounded and so mature in any situation that life throws at you. It has been incredible working with her for the past 4 years. So we have been waiting for the deep self magic because we were like, oh my gosh, what does she do? You know, what is her practices? Like, we want to know the magic, right? And her and I have been working together closely, you know, on helping some of our clients. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of people out there who teach personal and spiritual growth, right? There is a lot of things that people are doing. They're doing the Enneagrams and the AFT and the EFT and everybody's doing journaling and gratitudes and go to Landmark and get your chakras clean and cleared and whatever, and go to yoga and go to more yoga. And all people are doing is trying to fix themselves, right? All we're doing is try to be a better version or, more decorated version of ourselves so that we can feel better about ourselves. And what Bridget is teaching is pretty much the opposite of this. The way that she's teaching shadow work is like, embrace who you are, be authentic, explore who you are in your core and embrace it. And that's how she works with our clients too, which is what I love about her, right? Because she will work with them and get them to, okay, who do you actually want to work with in your business? Who do you actually want to be? Is it really about the money? Or is this, where's your heart at? Like, what do you want to authentically create in your life? And that's something that I so love about her. So I just want to say I'm so privileged and so thankful to having gotten to work with you for the past 4 years. I'm just, beyond blessed. I'm so excited for this book. In fact, like, we have been on Amazon. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why is the link doesn't work in Costa Rica? And I'm like, T, where's this? How do we buy this? We're genuinely so excited for this because, like, everybody said you're brilliant. Yes, you are. Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I mean, I honestly, like, I hate to admit this, but I go to her for coaching, it's like when I'm struggling and I was like, okay, help me figure this problem out. Or when we're dealing with like a company strategy, like, help me figure this out, because she really is brilliant and she sees things differently than anybody else. So I really recommend everybody get the book now, and read it because there's just so much goodness in everything that she does. And if you haven't checked out her podcast, it's the Waxing Soul podcast. It's really good. It's some really good stuff too.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Eva. Wow. If that is not a huge push to find out more about Bridget, find out more about her work, find out more about this beautiful soul that we are all celebrating today. And I say beautiful soul because when I see Bridget, that's what I see. And we are truly honored. Now, relating to the link, I just want to say this book is like crunch time. We have been working Judith has done everything in her powers to get this book up because it's someone's birthday soon. Tomorrow. And we wanted the book to be available as an ebook, at least for an even bigger celebration for Bridget. So the book has only just become live today, and it's still populating in various places on Amazon. So all the links that I've shared with you, the direct links to Amazon, they're all working. They're all on the Facebook stream below where you're watching us today. And I've shared it in the Zoom room here as well. Everyone who is on Facebook, giving hearts, giving love. Ava shared some of the names. Thank you all so much. I've seen a few of you say you've already purchased the book. Thank you on behalf of Bridget. This is such a huge thing for her, and it's something amazing to celebrate, especially with a beautiful birthday coming on. And we'll celebrate that birthday at the end as well. So I now have the honor of introducing another of Bridget's wonderful guests. And I am now introducing Simon Little. And we heard a little bit of Simon before we went live. So I'm quite keen to hear what he's going to share with us. Bridget, get ready. Something tells me we're all going to be laughing here. So
Brace
Simon,
yourselves.
yes, Simon is a part of Bridget's family. Now, someone's going to have to explain that as well to us. And he used to help lead the local pagan meetup with Bridget. So without further ado, Simon, over to you.
Certainly. And just so everybody's aware, I promise I will make this short. Bridget and several other people on the line know that there are a few things I love more than the sound of my own voice. So I will do well with that. But I do need to open this with a disclaimer. And that is that, unfortunately, I have not actually gotten a chance to read the book, despite the fact that she sent it to me, because she sent it in the form of something called an EPUB file. And apparently I've come down with a bad case of being a boomer, which I'm pretty sure is an affliction I'm getting from both my mother and my father's side at this point. So that is why I have not yet read it, Bridget. So I will be getting around to that very soon, but I have known Bridget for a very long time. And one of the things I can say about all the time I have known her is that I have watched her make some mistakes and I've watched her to grow. And I'm not saying this to denigrate anything she's ever thought or said or done, because this is not, in fact, the roast of Bridget Owens, though it could have been. But rather it's to acknowledge an important truth, and that's that if you have a teacher who claims to have done all things right, then you can expect that their teachings will be false. They won't be applicable. It's in the growth and the moving past of your ignorance and inexperience, and you're coming into being as someone who's greater than what you were that's going to make the path valid and authentic. As a really good teacher once told me, the secret of magic is to change the magician. And so this is the best endorsement that I can give to Bridget as a colleague and as a friend, and as sort of the small circle of chosen family that we share. Because one thing that did help her come into her being was this practice of magic. And I can confirm that she has some useful, valid, and very well-earned and insightful things to say on this subject. And I'm looking forward to learning more of it from her book. So Bridget, with what power that my words have, which isn't nothing, I wish that this book is a step for you that furthers you in your endeavors. And may this experience help you discover and create more of yourself.
Thank you so much, Simon. Really wise words. And Bridget, I have to say, you have such incredible support around you and so many people who just, it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to hear. And I love these kind of opportunities to listen to the author's support system and how that support system has moved you forward, but how you've also moved them forward and how you've shared so much of yourself with them. And as for being a great coach, yes, when I met with you, you have this incredible gift to be able to make people feel really important about what they're doing and to know that they can actually do anything that they put their heart to. So I definitely stand by Eva in that you are an incredible coach. You're also a fantastic author. Your writing is such that I know that our editor, Susan Rooks, had said how, it really flowed quite well. But you had this beautiful excitement about your message out there. And the thing that I really loved about you was that you said to me, I don't have an ego to the point where I'm not willing to look at what the author has said or the editor has said to change or edit in some way. And I think that because of your mindset, your book came together so beautifully, and your writing is so good that everyone needs to pick up this book. This is a really enjoyable read. It is something that is going to move everyone forward. And I could gush about it all night long, but that's just me, because I love topics like this. And I am so grateful to have met you, Bridget. And so what I want to do now is I want to lead into the next amazing guest speaker. So Laura, I'd love to introduce you. And Laura is Bridget. Bridget has known Laura through the local pagan meetup and the Pagan Pride Day community. Laura also leads her own coven. And of all the people that Bridget knows in the local pagan community, Laura is one of the most innovative thinkers. So Laura, I'd love to hand it over to you now.
Thank you. I just want to say, Bridget, that I'm so incredibly proud of you. This is, I mean, it's a little emotional for me. I can't imagine what it's like for you and your family. Kind of had my tissues close by, just because this feels like a huge event. It absolutely is. And I wanted you to know how proud I am of you. Several other people tonight have already spoken of, you know, your clear mind and your brilliance and the way that you think about things differently. So I don't want to hash over those too much, but they're true. They're absolutely true. And I've always enjoyed talking with you about just sort of any topic, especially during the meetups when it's like, okay, everybody left, but I still want to talk. I appreciate you for indulging me in that. And I did want to bring up that I've always seen you as someone who works really hard. Forgive me if I get these out of order, but it seemed for a while you worked a job you just knew you had to get through because there were some positives to it, and it was just kind of like a time waiting game until you could get those benefits, move on. And then as a small business owner, I think that is such incredible dedication and difficult work to do. And I watched you do that for a long time. I remember going places with you and you're like, I'm building something for my business. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm just totally spacing off looking at a wall over here. And you're focused, which is incredible. And then to hear about this spark of an idea and eventually you start talking about it a little bit further. And then you're like, oh, by the way, this book has been born. Please come check it out. I was ecstatic. And I think the topic is amazing to me. I can't wait to hear more about it. Your insert that you read earlier was just fascinating to me. So rest assured, I'm gonna, whichever link it is, I'm gonna find that link and order me up a copy and can't wait to get it. And I'm just thankful that you were able to bring these things into the world. And this book being one of many, I know several years ago, it was like when we were meeting in groups and talking about, well, we have an idea for how we want our environment to be, our location, our city. What is that idea and how do we get that idea accomplished? And it's just hard. So thank you for just bringing that spark into the world and then having these beautiful things being created from it.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Laura. And Bridget, we're just hearing how brilliant you are and the amazing soul that you are. So everyone, you have heard from most of Bridget's guests, her nearest and dearest. We have one more coming. And before I hand you over to the next guest, I'd just like to remind you of the name of the book and that the links are actually in the post below. The book is Deep Self-Magic, a step-by-step roadmap to spiritual authenticity. And gosh, do we all need some of this right now in our lives. We've all been going through so much over the last couple of years. So to connect deeper with yourself, to really get to be more in tune with who you are. And so many said this about Bridget today. And in the posts, I can see so many saying, oh yeah, she's our grounded rock. So to become a grounded rock for yourself and everyone around you, go out and get a copy of the book. Links are in the post below. And at the moment, I've seen a few comments asking about, is it available as a paperback? It is not available as a paperback as yet. Please stay tuned. It's only available as an ebook because, as I said earlier, we wanted to get this book out for this special lady for her birthday. So we kind of pushed everything out as quickly as possible. But we want to ensure that the ebook is approved by Bridget before we release it to the world. And that will be in the next few weeks or so. So watch this space, keep an eye on Bridget's social media connections and emails, etc. And she'll share more with you very soon about how you can get that. And for those of you who are saying you'd like a signed autographed copy, Bridget will be able to get that sorted for you. Okay, and please share the posts about the book, how you can support Bridget. So share her posts, share any of our posts that you'd like to for Carnelian Moon Publishing. Share the links. Please share this out to your networks to support Bridget in getting her message into the hands of all those who actually need it. So now, are you ready? Last but most definitely not least is Bridget's incredible support system. Now I'm going to say Bridget's everyone's grounded rock. You get to meet Bridget's grounded rock now. So everyone, you have the honor of meeting Courtney Owens, who is Bridget's wife, and also her significant help, my notes say, in managing Bridget's social media. So I'm sure many of you already know Courtney. I'm going to hand over to you, my lovely.
Well, it's funny you say something about grounding rock because that's kind of what I wanted to touch on tonight. And I don't have the way with words that Bridget does, but she has been my rock. And if you know her, if you get involved with her, you know that you are going to have support and growth. And that is one thing in our almost 20 years of knowing each other that that I've found. I have grown so much with her, and so many things I haven't done. She went and got her MBA, and suddenly I got my bachelor's. I've been trying to get that for so long, and seeing her do her master's, I finally got my bachelor's. And she has taught me to question so many things and to learn so many things. And I feel like before I met her, I was so sheltered. And now I just feel like I have grown and that I can accomplish a lot as long as I have her by my side. And I feel like anybody who gets to know her or gets to know her work is going to find that as well. So, I mean, I can't say enough good things about her. I love her to death. And I am so proud of everything you do. So thank you for joining, allowing me to join your journey. And I'm not going to cry.
But it would be okay if you did. This is beautiful. Thank you so much, Courtney. It is so wonderful to have you here to share and to give us that insight into, like, this is amazing that each of you are here and that there is so much love and sharing about Bridget. Bridget, I want to just bring you on and just maybe ask, how are you feeling right now, love?
I thought I was going to make it through without crying, but I didn't.
Nobody ever makes it through any of our book launches without crying. I'm very sorry to say that, but.
So I just want to acknowledge everybody because, and I talk about this in the book, that the people that you have around you are both a reflection of who you are, and they help you evolve. And I am incredibly lucky to have all of these people in my life, and many more that didn't come on and are out there supporting me without being on the Zoom. And that's, I think, probably the biggest magic in my life, was choosing to surround myself with people who are good for me. And so I want to thank everybody for being here. On a lighter note, so talking about the paperback, and yes, it's coming. It's those of you who do know me know I have artistic visions, and so I was part of the delay in this book, in the writing and all of it. Like, it needed to be right, and it wasn't right on the date that I thought it was going to be. So, but everything is as it's supposed to be. So the paperback is coming out, and then after that, unsurprising to those who know me, I'm also planning to do a workbook. So there will be that release later. I'm going to do the audiobook. I'm going to do an oracle deck that goes with the book. We're going to do a coloring book. So there's more and more to come that spawns out of this. So stay tuned all of 2022. There's going to be more stuff coming out. This isn't the end of it.
And that is a beautiful list of things that you have coming out, because the one thing that Debbie and I always say is it's more than just a book. There's always something more that, as an author, you want to share with people, because you want your readers to have an experience, not just a book that they put on the shelf. And Bridget, your book is an experience. Your wisdom is an experience. The guidance that you share in your book is definitely an experience. And it's an experience that everyone deserves and needs to receive. So we do hope that everyone watching and anyone who wants to share this out after with the replay, that you go and get a copy of the book. And even if it is the ebook to begin with, that is a fantastic way to just sit back and relax in your bed and just read comfortably. And then when that paperback comes out, you're going to just absolutely love all those beautiful illustrations. It's going to make you want to doodle in that book yourself. I won't do it because I can't do that kind of thing, but I think that this book, Bridget, is amazing, and everything you've got coming forward is going to be incredible as companions moving forward as well. So there's a lot more coming from you, I know, and I can't wait to see where this all takes you. This is amazing. Thank you so much for being who you are, for all of these amazing individuals that you surround yourself with. You truly have a spirit and a gift that shows that you truly do care about others, and your book indicates that as well. So we're really looking forward to more from you.
There will be lots more, as everybody who's in this Zoom knows. There's never any shortage of things that I want to do. So that list never ends. And thank you again to Carnelian Moon. And I remember saying to Eva after we met the first time, I was like, oh, I had the greatest conversation with Judith, who has this publishing company. And I was like, I think I need to hire her. I think this is perfect. And yeah, and that was that first glimmer of like, there's somebody out there who can help me make this what I want it to be. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. That touches our heart. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. We would not have wanted to miss this journey. Let me tell you, we firmly believe in things happening for a reason. And I know that I was a part of Eva's program for a reason, and it was partially to meet you and for you to know that this book is definitely supposed to be out there, and out there in a big, beautiful, bodacious way. So congratulations, Bridget.
Thank you.
So we are almost at the end, but we want to do something first because we want to raise a glass to our guest of honor and share in celebrating Bridget Owens in the publication of your latest work, Deep Self Magic, got to get that right. And also enjoy your birthday tomorrow, girl.
Yes, happy birthday.
Huge, this is a huge week for you. Congratulations. May you have many, many, many more books and ideas and amazing days to celebrate.
Thank you all so much.
You're so welcome. Huge congrats, Bridget. Thank you, everyone in the Zoom room, for joining us in celebrating this beautiful lady and her amazing book, Deep Self Magic, a step-by-step roadmap to spiritual authenticity. Go out and get a copy. The links again are below. All you have to do is click on those links and purchase a copy today. I know that in some locations you may not be able to get a copy, like in Costa Rica. However, we will be able to get copies of the paperback over to you. And when the paperback comes out, you can always purchase a copy, signed autographed copy from Bridget as well. So congrats, Bridget. Thank you for joining us, Facebook. Lots of love over there for you, Bridget. Go and have a look at the posts. Loads of comments. You've got probably an hour's time to spend there just going through. So much love for you and so much support. So thank you everyone for joining us over in Facebook world. We're signing out to you there. So Judy,
thank you very much.
Sign out for us.